and probably tea leaves and a few other things. So stick around, and maybe we can... I wish we had visual. I really do. It would be a lot more fun. I could get some rune stones and cast them. It'd be fun. Anyway, let's get started. How much snow do you have out there, Valerie, up in Cleveland? I know this weekend is going to be crazy, too. Again. Another nor'easter, maybe. That'd be 3 in a row. Excuse me. And this weather is driving my sinuses nuts, as you can tell. I just want to rip them out of my head. But anyway, runes. Do you know what runes are? Actually, runes are the letters in a set of related alphabets. But there's a different kind of rune, which we'll get to in a few. They're known as runic alphabets. They were used to write various Germanic languages before the adoption of Latin, and for specialized purposes afterwards. Okay, a Scandinavian variant, and this word is going to be used throughout, and it's known as Futhark or Fulpark, and it's derived from the first 6 letters of the runic alphabet: F-U-P-A-R and K. All right, Chris, I know what you're thinking. Don't even say it, okay? I know what you're thinking. Stop. And, of course, the Anglo-Saxon variant is Futhork or Fulpork due to the sound changes. Anyway, runology, of course, is the study of the runic alphabet, inscriptions, and rune stones. The earliest ones that we know of date from around 150 A.D., and most of them were generally replaced by the Latin alphabet. The 3 best-known runic alphabets are, like we said, I said we were going to mention them again: Elder Futhark, Anglo-Saxon, that was about 400 to 1100 A.D., and the Younger Futhark. The Younger Futhark is divided even further than that. So, historically, the runic alphabet is it's part of the Old Italic scripts of antiquity, with the addition of some innovations. Suggestions include Old Venetic, Old Latin as candidates. These scripts had the same angular letter shapes, which would become characteristic of the runes. The oldest inscriptions are found in Denmark and northern Germany, and it suggests transmission via Germanic groups with these runes. The runes were in use among the Germanic peoples, 1st or 2nd century A.D. The runes were developed after the Old Italic alphabets, from which they are probably derived from. The development of the runic script concerns the question regarding which of the alphabet should be taken as their point of origin. I wish I had a visual because I could show you what these runes look like. Very interesting, as a matter of fact. The angular shapes of the runes are shared with the most contemporary alphabets of the period that were used for carving in wood or stone. There are no horizontal strokes in these runes. When carving a message on a stick or a flat staff. It's also shared by other alphabets. So that's kind of where the runic inscriptions and runic stones come from. I wish I could show you some pictures. I really do. Like I said, the earliest runic inscriptions found on the artifacts give the name of either the craftsman, the proprietor. Sometimes it's just a linguistic mystery. It is possible the early runes are not used much as a simple writing system, but as magical signs to be used for charms. So there you go. I hope I'm not losing you guys. I would be really upset. It's really windy, so hang in there. But they were they were magical signs to be used for charms. Although some say the runes were used for divination, there's no direct evidence to that. The name rune itself is taken to mean secret or something hidden. The knowledge of the runes was originally considered esoteric or very restricted to some elite people. There was a curse. I, master of the runes, conceal here runes of power, incessantly plagued by malfeasance, doomed to insidious death, is he who breaks this monument. I prophesy destruction, prophecy of destruction. Oh, yeah, that's a pretty good curse. The same curse and the use of the word rune is also found in other rune stones. There are inscriptions suggesting a medieval belief in the magical significance of runes, such as the Frank's casket, AD 700. Wish I had like I said, visual. I could show you what I'm talking about. Charm words such as Aja, Lapu, and most commonly Alu appear on a number of inscriptions as well as variants and abbreviations of these words. The potential meaning of these inscriptions has been studied and speculated upon. Rhyming groups appear on some early things that may be magical in purpose, such as Luatua. That's Luatua. Luatua. Yeah, interesting. It gives a cryptic inscription describing the use of 3 rune letters, followed by a Futhark F rune. It has proven difficult to find traces of runic oracles, per se, although Norse literature is full of references to runes. It doesn't contain there's nothing that contains specific instructions on divination with the runes. There are 3 sources on divination with rather vague descriptions, and you can look those up if you wish. Just look for Runestones books. The lack of extensive knowledge on the use of runes has not stopped modern authors from extrapolating entire systems of divination from what few specifics do exist. It's usually loosely based on the reconstructed names of the runes and outside influence. A recent study of runic magic suggests that runes were used to create magical objects, such as amulets, blah, 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 but not in a way that would indicate that runic writing was any more magical than were other writing systems. Medieval use, it was called a Codex Runicus. It's a vellum manuscript containing one of the oldest and best preserved texts of the Scandian law, is totally in runes. As I said, I wish we had some visual. I could show you some pictures. It was really cool looking. Some later runic finds are on monuments or runestones, which often contain solemn inscriptions about people who died or performed great deeds. For a long time, it was presumed that this kind of inscription was a primary use of them, and their use was associated with certain class of rune carvers. In the mid-1950s, though, approximately 600 inscriptions, known as the Brigand inscriptions, were found in Bergen. They were made on wood and bone, often in the shape of sticks in various sizes, and contained inscriptions of an everyday nature, ranging from name tags, prayers that were often in Latin, personal messages, business letters, to body phrases of a profane and sometimes even a vulgar nature. Oh no, really? Back then? Would have never known. I can see all these guys running to see about these runes. But anyway, runic was a widespread and common writing system. In the late Middle Ages, runes were also used in the Clog Almanac, sometimes called Runic Staff, Prim, or Scandinavian Calendar. In Norse mythology, the runic alphabet is attested to a divine origin. So, again, we're going back to the Norse and all that, and the divine nature of runes. Let's see. So, has anybody ever seen rune stones? Have you ever seen any rune stones? I wish I could show you pictures of these. These are very cool. Runes, they're kind of an ancient form of oracle and used by those seeking advice, so you cast the stones. Runes have a long history, dating back to an ancient use by Germanic and Nordic tribes, and are widely still used. No, I've seen just one set, and that was a while ago. They're very interesting. I think some can be very beautiful too. So, anyway, they're still widely used in today's society. Anyone can have a rune reading. It's also fun to be able to learn how to use them, though. What are runes? That simply means mystery, whisper, or secret. And they could say it's a form of divination or oracle reading system used to help gain insight into situations or questions. Runes can be made of various materials, but most are made of stone and feature a symbol from the runic alphabet on them. There are various types of runic alphabets used, with one of the oldest ones being the Old Germanic rune alphabet, which I said we were going to mention again, was the Elder Futhark. It contains 24 runes. Over time, it was adapted, and in order to use it to write in Anglo-Saxon, a number of other runes were added, of course, bringing it up to 33. And that's the Anglo-Saxon version. As well as each rune symbol being a letter of the alphabet, they also have symbolic meanings too. Although many of these date back to traditional meanings, which would have meant a lot to the people using the alphabet system. For example, a fihu, an F, means domestic cattle or wealth. A U means a wild ox. T means a thorn or giant. H means hail. A means an ancestral god. R means wagon or chariot. K means a beacon or torch. And the runes stem, of course, again from an ancient form of Germanic alphabet. The runes can be used to help guide you through problems or issues and help show you what is likely to happen. They're not exactly called a form of fortune telling and don't offer exact answers. Rather, they often offer different variables and just suggest how you could behave if the event does occur. Runes are known for hinting towards answers, but leaving you to work out the details. This is where intuition is helpful. Runic readers acknowledge that the future isn't fixed and that individuals have the power to follow their own path and make their own decisions. So if you don't like the guidance that a rune reading tells you, you've got the power to change the direction or your path and follow, of course, a different route. Runes can be used in many different situations. For example, an occasion when it can be useful is if you're in a situation where you have been limited information or only see an incomplete picture. It might give you some answers to that. How do runes work? When you cast the runes, no, it is not fortune telling. The idea is that you ask a question or think about an issue. Your conscious and unconscious minds are focused. When the runes are cast in front of you, they're not totally random, but are choices that have been made by your subconscious. Uh,